Alright, so this is the base of my chicken coop. What I did was just dig down so I could get all the 4x8 by 16 pavers level in the ground, and those are my treated 2x4s that I'm going to use as the base so they won't rot. Yeah, so now the work begins. Over here is my setup. I got a chop saw. There's some of the sawmill lumber in the back of my truck. So let's get this started. Alright, so I've got the studs up, and after I screwed all the base together, I basically countersunk the screws, screwed them on either side 90 degrees from each other in the corners, and then 3 screws countersunk in the 2x4 on the front, and this should be able to hold the studs up until I can get the roof on. So as you can see, on this end is going to be the coop. This other end is going to be where the hardware cloth is, and it's 32 inches apart. There's going to be 3 sections on either side, and so next is to put the roof beam on the either side. It's 14 foot long. The base is 6 foot wide by 12 foot long, so that's going to be the area that they're going to have to mess around in. Alright, well, I'm going to put the roof beam on here and then I'll get back to you. So I got my cross beams on for my rafters. I also put the 8-foot rafters on and cut the bird's mouth on either end so that I didn't have to go and buy the metal brackets from Lowe's, which add to the price of the coop. What you see here on the 45-degree braces you see on the front and the ones on the side, that's just to hold it square. Get you a big 4-foot level and just make sure everything's squared up real good before you put your roof trusses on, and then go from there. The next thing on the agenda is to start framing up the floor of the coop. I've got the coop floor framed in, and it looks pretty good so far. I tried to use the scrap pieces of lumber where you wouldn't see them, so anyways, so that's done. Alright, so I've got the walls framed up. This here's going to be my nesting box. There's going to be a window up here. I still have to frame in a little bit of the window. I had to put some scabbing on here so that I can nail my plywood and my siding too. As you can see, this lumber is, you know, some of it was given to me from where I work, and then others I bought at the sawmill, and it's a lot cheaper than if you buy wood at Lowe's, so it helps the outcome price. You don't have to pay as much, so that's a good thing, especially for me. You know, I didn't want to spend a whole lot, so hopefully I'll have less than what I expect in it. But so my coop is 6 foot wide and my plywood is 4 foot wide, so I had to nail some walls in here so that we can nail the plywood to. Just some basic wall studs, and I got one set at 2 foot there and one set at 4 foot there, so it's coming together. I got my floor on also, so cool. So it's raining now, and I finally got the window framed up. It is 28 wide by 18 inches tall, and you can see my nesting box down there. I told you about it earlier, but I think I've got all the framing done. I've got the pop door done, and it is 16 by 12, so I'll just have to cut it out whenever I get done. I just figured instead of trying to make the hole really accurate, I'll just cut it out while it's on the coop. It might be a little easier, but so I'm gonna put a door in the back and a door in the front. That way I can clean it out really good. So I've gotten one side of the exterior wall put up, and I used kind of like T111. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And now I'm getting ready to start on the other side. So, alright. Okay, so after the rain delay, I kind of worked inside underneath this piece of plastic I have here. And last night it blew off and got all my tools wet. But anyways, I worked inside putting some of this like styrofoam insulation in. And I hope that'll help keep them warm in the wintertime, because it does get pretty windy out here. So it blows across the field there through the pine trees, and I'm sure I might have to anchor this thing down. I'm afraid it might blow over if we get some winds like we had a couple months ago. But yeah, I insulated inside here. There's my pop door and my window and nesting boxes. Score got this piece of linoleum for free, and it's pretty awesome. So the dude just gave it to me. It doesn't go all the way across, but I think I'm gonna make it work just to save $20. So anyways, I cut the windows out too, as you can see, and looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna work on the inside plywood and the ceiling and try to get this thing wrapped up. Alright, finally finished up the framing on the nesting box, and put the plywood down in the bottom. Now I have to sheet the outside of it. Hopefully that goes pretty well. It's 16 wide and 42 long. It's going to have enough for 3 nesting boxes inside, so hopefully they'll have enough room. I kind of just guessed on the size. And alright, so I finally got the roof inside of the coop. Oh my god, what a headache. Pain in the butt. But anyways, I finally got it after cutting a couple pieces of plywood, and there goes my insulation. After cutting a couple pieces of plywood wrong, I finally got it right. Man, that is some bad plywood I got from Lowe's too. It's different than the first kind I bought, but anyways. I also got the nesting boxes. I got the siding put on. It looks pretty good. So inside you can see how big each one is going to be. Pretty big. Big enough to lay an egg, I think. So, alright. Evening report. Got the spacers between the rafters put in so that birds and crap can't get over top. Look pretty good. Really glad to have that over with. So yeah, it's been kind of a slow day. Okay, so Coop day 6. I'm trying to put the metal roof on. As you can see, I put the slats down to where you screw the metal roof, and I stained them already. I put this on today on the front siding on the front face here, and so now I have to get up there and install the metal roof, which is gonna be pretty tough considering I'm by myself. But anyway, shouldn't be that bad. But there's the roof, and I guess I'm gonna lay it out on the ground just to see how everything will line up on top once I get on the coop there by myself. So yeah, this could be kind of hairy. Alright, so there it is. The roof is finally done. Oh my gosh, what a hassle. It went on really good until this last piece over here. I had to cut it, and my gosh, it was a pain. But you can see that I started staining some stuff up in the rafters. And I stained all these little cross members that the tin attaches to, or the metal roof. But yeah, that's going to be pretty tough too, because the wood, since it's sawmill lumber, it wants to absorb all the stain before I even move my brush. So yeah, I started working on the little door down here, and so I'm gonna have this to open up. Just I'm gonna have it open up when we want to let the chickens out, and we don't want to leave the large door open, so this will just open up. Yeah, so I'm gonna work on all the doors today. Sweet.